And welcome to another unboxing with some leaf-throughs, not all because some of the books are sealed because they're hardcovers or even omnibus, but we'll show what we can. So here in the table we've got Hulk Dogs of War, the Omni, Green Lantern Agent Orange, which serves as a prelude to the Blackest Night series, and we've got the this big edition of Vagabond 12, which you know that at least these two books aren't easy to find, but we nailed them. Yeah, we did, and they weren't that expensive. Yeah, we made it again. So let's start with these ones are taken, so I'm gonna just leaf them through very carefully. Because they've got owners. Look at this. I wish I had the whole Vagabond series. It's a pity that it's so hard to. I don't even try to start the collection because I would just bump into a situation where I couldn't get one volume. But I love the artwork. I love the scenarios. I've read some of it, not this volume, but yeah, and I really would like for some new printing to come out. It would be great. This is by Takehiko Inoue, and it's based on oh my god, Eiji Yoshikawa's Musashi. Musashi is probably a word for samurai or something like that. I really dig the feudal Japan with the samurais and etc. That's a big plus for me. So this one is one of the sealed books that we won't be able to show. Yeah. So, but it's a small hardcover, as you can see. But it's a elusive little guy. This is by Jeff Johns and also Philip Tan and Jonathan Glapion, with a terrific new villain and the promise of great character moments to come. It's a great time to be a Green Lantern reader. This has got some time, this book, of course. Untold millennia ago, the Guardians of the Universe took up their solemn duty to protect all of creation against evil. To that end, they created the Green Lanterns. Free of fear and fueled by pure willpower, the Green Lantern Corps stories shines the light of justice into every corner of the cosmos, except one, the Vega systems, which is off limits. Yeah. So writer Jeff Johns and artist Philip Tan bask in the orange light of avarice as it burns through the DC universe. Yeah, this is a little gem that we dug out. So let's take a look at the Hulk Dogs of War, unfortunately also sealed. It's a pity that it can't look inside. But it's by Jenkins, Carney, Hotz, and John Romita Jr. This is the spine. As you can see, it's a heavy omnibus. So what lurks inside the mind of Bruce Banner? Paul Jenkins, one of the most cerebral writers in comics, delves deep into Banner's head and reveals the full horrors within. Bruce is dying, but when he breathes his last, what will be left behind? One of the Hulks we know, or something far worse? Meanwhile, a ruthless new enemy unleashes an array of deadly threats, including his gun-powered Dogs of War, and Banner seeks revenge on the man who killed Betty in a blockbuster battle between the Hulk and Abomination. So this collects Jenkins' complete exploration of all aspects of the Jade Giant, from his classic Hulk smash self to his Professor persona, Joe Fixit, and more, plus startling stories of the era from an array of talented creators. So it collects Incredible Hulk from the years 2000, from issue 12 to 33, annuals from 2000 and 2001, Century Hulk #1, Hulk from 1999 #1, #2, Hulk Smash #1 and 2, Startling Stories Banner 1 to 4, and they're written by Paul Jenkins with Sean McKeever. Then Fabian Nietzsche, Priest, Eric Larson, and lots of people drawing. Yeah, Dogs of War. Also not an easy to find Omni. And the next one is also wrapped, sorry about that. So it's well, a replenish. We've had it already. It's Big Hard Sex Criminals. The most hits we get in our website are for this book, probably because of the name Big Hard Sex, right? I'm just saying it is by far the most hits, the book with most hits in the store. So this is the hardcover edition, slightly oversized, with a pink collar, yeah, and these lettering effects. It's a graphic novel about a couple who stop time when they orgasm, so they rob banks. That's it, and that's true. The summary actually summarizes it very well. They have the ability to stop time when they have sex or when they have the orgasm. For some time the time stops. It starts by the story starts with just one character having that ability, but it then finds another guy. It's a girl, then she finds a guy who also has the same power, and so they start getting crazy ideas of how they could exploit these powers. And that's from the minds of Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. It's a mad assumption for a book, but it works. It actually works. So let's skip to the next box where we have less wrapped things. These ones I can show you the art, which is great. So let's start with these very special Batman books. Batman War Games, Book 1 and Book 2. And these could almost be omnibuses. Look at the size of these trade paperbacks. If they were Dark Horse, they would be omnibus. So let's take a look. I love the covers. I don't know. Is this a Mignola cover? Because it could be. It could be. So, the contents are too much for me to enunciate here, but it's got a lot of issues. Detective Comics from 790 to 796 at least. Then we've got Robin number 126, Batgirl, Solo, Robin again, Batman 12 Cent Adventure, Legends of the Dark Knight, Nightwing, Gotham Knights, again Batgirl and Catwoman. Yeah, it's got a lot of content. Let's just take a look at the art. So for each issue, you get the names of the creators and artists. That's good. This is good paper, old-fashioned DC paper. Yeah, look at this, good artwork. And it's got a lot to read, and it's an opportunity to get into the Batman verse and get to know a bit about Nightwing, Catwoman, Batgirl, and etc. It's a collection of different issues that are connected in some way, so we have to trust the editors that they are put in a sequence that makes sense. See, this one is totally different. This is probably an annual, I'm not sure. Robin number 128. So it's an assortment, a big assortment of Batman and surrounding characters. All the cast shows up. Nightwing there. Yeah, and it's a lot of content for the price. It's really a good business. Well, look, we've got Jock here, but it's just the cover. Let's take a look at book 2. I don't know why it doesn't have... it does. It does have a table of contents. So once again, Detective Comics, but further 798. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, Nightwing, Gotham Knights, Robin, Batgirl, Catwoman, Batman, Detective Comics again, Batman Secret Files, what else? Yeah, and that's about it. And Batman, just Batman. Let's take a little look. These sound very promising for Batman fans. It's a lot of content that you'll have to buy lots of books to get all the content that is collected here. It's a selection that would cost you a lot of money to get if you'd go by parts. And the covers are awesome. Awesome, really awesome. Yeah, Batman and their fellows. There's Catwoman. Yeah, I think we've seen enough, because the books are really... Look at this! Whew. Great looking books, very promising reads. So, next, for something very different, a small hardcover, Serenity, from the Firefly series. Firefly Class 03K64, Those Left Behind by Joss Whedon, Brett Matthews and Will Conrad. So, Will Conrad's slick and fluid artwork captures the essence of how the film actors realize the characters without losing comic book feel. So this is from Oscar and Emmy nominated Joss Whedon, creator of acclaimed series like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, of course, and writer-director of The Avengers, comes Serenity, a prequel to the Serenity feature film. Captain Malcolm Reynolds and his ragtag crew of renegades take refuge from their former lives as soldiers, loners, and guinea pigs. Each has a story to tell of shady dealings, battles fought that are sometimes won, sometimes lost, and the enduring desire for peace. They find home on the Firefly-class starship named Serenity. So this volume includes an introduction by Serenity star Nathan Fillion, a pre-production memo from Joss Whedon, and pre-production art for the feature film. So it's kind of a celebration of the film with some extra content that prequels the movie. So it seems like a very interesting read for fans of the movie or of the franchise. The artwork is very peculiar. I really like it. Lots of shading in the faces. Very expressive faces. The colorist is not shy of playing with his colors, very confident. It doesn't restrict the palette at all. It uses vibrant colors when needed, and then it can make it more gloomish, like in here. So great coloring work here, in my opinion. Look at this. Well, the paper is superb. It's a really nice edition. Wow, great looking panel. Oh, sorry, a little bit out of... Yeah, it's a good looking book. Very good looking book. It's a small trade paperback, and with the extras supposedly related to the movie, maybe studies for scenes and characters, costume designs for the vehicles. I love these futuristic vehicles and structures. Yeah. So, prequel to the movie, Serenity, Firefly, Class 03K64, Those Left Behind. So let's continue with the last set of books. Let me just pull them off. Okay, done it. Let's start with some Star Wars Epic Collection. So, if you've been following us, we recently acquired the first Epic Collection of the Star Wars, and now we have Volume 2. This is classic Star Wars, the very beginning. Well, number 1 is the very beginning, but this is very old school too. So you can see it in the artwork, but it's, yeah, it's the raw material, the old age comics, and we're suckers for this, for these, better saying. Let me see if it says what it collects, and I'll tell you. So, Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Leader 1-3, Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron 1-16, and Special number 1, and material from Star Wars Tales number 12 and 23. So they say that this is a new way for fans to collect and read classic and iconic Star Wars stories across the past 35 years of published titles. Yeah, for 35 years. Star Wars. What else to say, right? Okay, so this is also not easy to find, of course, because it's a relatively old book. Then a recomer, if that's even a word, Capital Punishment by the Punisher, featuring the Punisher. This is by Abnett, Lanning, Chichester, Braithwaite, Stroman, all well-known names. It's not Garth Ennis, but yeah, it's still Punisher, and it's a well-sought epic collection. It's got that paper that you would find in the traditional comics back when they were published, kind of like magazine. It's not newspaper, but it's something between newspaper and magazine. This is quite a voluminous epic collection, as you can see. This is volume 7, and it spans from 1922 to 1923. We've talked about this book, but I can read the summary. So when Frank Castle heads to London in pursuit of the assassin Snakebite, he finds a whole continent of trouble, as well as the British vigilante Outlaw, his biggest fan. Their fragile Anglo-American alliance must survive a deadly chase from country to country that will draw in mercenaries from Batroc to the Tarantula. But can the Punisher put a stop to a plot that goes all the way up to Kingpin himself? And if he can manage to return to America in one piece, Frank will be targeted by the anti-vigilantism task force known as Vigil, plus the Punisher in space, the death-dealing Baron's cemetery, and a tense team-up with the Avengers' own Black Widow. So Punisher 63 to 75, Punisher G-Force, Punisher Die Hard in the Big Easy, and Punisher / Black Widow spinning Doomsday's web. That's the content you get here. So this one is a complete shot in the dark. We just bought it because it's Warren Ellis, and we read some good reviews about it. It's called Injection. It's got a great cover, at least for my taste. Let's see what it dates from. First printing 2015. So, once upon a time there were 5 crazy people and they poisoned the 21st century. Now they have to deal with the corrosion to try to save us all from a world becoming too weird to support human life. Injection is the new ongoing series, well, now it's not new, by the acclaimed creative team of Moon Knight from the Dead. It is science fiction, tales of horror, strange crime fiction, techno-thriller, and ghost story all at the same time. That's quite a mix. A serialized sequence of graphic novels about how loud and strange the world is getting, about the wild future and the haunted past, all crashing into the present day at once, and about 5 eccentric geniuses dealing with the paranormal and numinous, as well as the growing weight of what they did to the planet with the injection. So let's take a look at the artwork now that we've seen that we've read about what this is about. It's not very clear what this is about because it's such a mix of genres that you can hardly know what to expect from here. So let's just take a look. Okay, Shalvey and Belair. Okay. Art is by Shalvey. There's the injection. If you've read this, feel free to leave some comments on what did you think about it, because we haven't read a single page of this, so we're just hoping it is good. Fingers crossed. I'm not very enthusiastic with the art, but if the story is good, the art is not bad. It just doesn't click. It doesn't give me that wow feeling, but it's good enough. If the story is good, I'm okay with it. Next one. How far would you journey to save Queen and Kingdom? Isola. So, brilliant, an atmospheric and intriguing story with masterful art. This is the opinion of Frank Quitely. This is chapter 1 of Isola. So, an evil spell has been cast on the Queen of Mar, and her captain of the guard will do anything to reverse it. Their only hope lies on an island half a world away, a place known in myth as Isola, Land of the Dead. A lavish new fantasy series from acclaimed storytellers Brendan Fletcher, which is a New York Times best-selling author of Batgirl of Burnside, and Carl Kerschel, perhaps, yeah. High fantasy with a colorful twist, imaginative and fresh, says the Paste magazine. And let's look at the artwork, because that's what supposedly really stands out in this title. Let's make sure that that's true. Let's see. Yeah, I like it. The coloring is too digital, but it looks very nice. Love this weird colored tiger. So it's got some weird creatures, so hence the high fantasy label. Yeah, it does look good. The book looks good and feels good. This is highly appraised, so I expect not to be disappointed by it. Let's see. Sometimes it happens, it just doesn't click. High fantasy isn't even my preferred genre, but if it's a good story, I'm in. As for the artwork, I like it, no doubt, though it doesn't match the quality of this cover, which is absolutely excellent, but still very good artwork indeed. Isola by Brandon Fletcher. Image Comics. Did I say the date? No, I didn't. So this dates from 2019, the second printing. 2019. So another series that we have been lurking, Unnatural by Mircandolfo. Mircandolfo, Unnatural. It's got some weird covers. You either love them or hate them, I'd say, because they're really weird. I kind of like it, at least this one, but there are some others that I don't like that much. So Leslie Blair is a simple pig girl. Yeah, simple pig girl. She lives with her best friend, she loves sushi, and she hates her job. Her life is not anything but simple. She lives in the shadow of a totalitarian government, one that interferes in the personal lives of its citizens and brutally punishes transgressors for so-called unnatural relationships. So Leslie dreams of something different for herself, but these dreams are becoming dangerous. And when she wakes, she could swear she's being watched. Washed, she could be washed too. Okay, so Mircandolfo, writer, artist, colorist, is the one-man band, and look at the artwork. It's really something different. Look at the pigtail. It's quite cute. Yeah, so this is a bit like manga in color, I would say. It's got some influence from manga, but it's very, very unique art style, and I really like the use of color here. Big shout out to Mircandolfo. So it's another high fantasy title. That I imagine is targeted for, well, I wouldn't say all audiences, because it has some nudity, but it doesn't seem to be that violent or something like that. Maybe young adults are targeted for this, are the main target for this series. She reminds of Miss Piggy here. The sexy shots are funny. Look at it. Yeah, she's a very sexy pig, and she's not ashamed of doing so. Next we've got Mr. Garth Ennis. Yeah, we're practically collecting everything that Garth Ennis has put out. during his lifetime and until now. So this is Streets of Glory, a western, something that you don't see Garth Ennis doing much. It is not a very highly regarded title, but it's Garth Ennis, so that's enough for me to be interested. And the Western theme, well, there aren't that many books with nowadays with that theme, so it kind of pushed me into getting this hard to get book. Yeah, it's one of those hard to gets that we could get, and actually pretty cheap and brand new, of course. We just trade brand new books. So expect some violence, expect harsh vocabulary. I haven't read it, but if it's Garth Ennis, that's what you should expect. Expect it to be provocative and very well written, of course. Compelling story, I sure hope. With lots of action and killing that we can see by browsing the book. Yeah, Streets of Glory. This doesn't even say when it was published, but it's not something new. It was published by Avatar, which published many other things from Garth Ennis, like his war stories. And last but not least, Steve Rogers' Super Soldier, the complete collection. So, Steve Rogers is back from the dead. With Bucky Barnes wielding the shield, it's time for a new guise for the living legend. Long ago, the serum that transformed Rogers into Super Soldier was lost, seemingly forever, but now, the creator's grandson has rediscovered the formula and plans to sell it to the highest bidder. Confronted with the nightmare scenario of an unstoppable army in the hands of any despot or dictator with enough cash, can the former Captain America prevent the serum from changing hands before it's too late? Then, when the X-Men, including Cyclops and Namor, find themselves trapped in the negative zone, they could use a hand against Blastar, the living bomb burst. Enter Steve Rogers' Super Soldier. So this collects Super Soldier 1 to 4, Annual number 1, Uncanny X-Men Annual 2006 number 3, and Namor, the First Mutant Annual number 1. This is written by Ed Brubaker and James Asmus, illustrated by Dale Eaglesman, Nick Bradshaw, Ibrahim Robertson, and Max Fuimara. Let's take a look. So, of course, what pulled us into this is the fact that it's an Ed Brubaker's. So let's take a look at the art. Yeah, it's that kind of art that has no personal feel to it. It's generalist, but it's very competent. But it doesn't scream a name, right? You don't look at it, oh, this is a blah blah. No, it could be many people drawing this. Pretty standard artwork style. So it's Ed Brubaker. I hope he doesn't disappoint me. Don't do this to me, Ed. You've been writing great books since ever. Yeah, some covers, some sketches. Yeah, not a lot of extras, but yeah. It's not a very, although it's a complete collection, it's not one of those complete collections that look like epic collections or something like that. It's relatively thick, but nothing to too fancy in terms of size. So, and with that we conclude our unboxing. It's been a lengthy video, I know, so sorry about that, but it's an opportunity for you to take a peek into some books that you might not get to see, and of course it's a way for you to know that we can get things like this wonder, Epic Collection number 2 for the Star Wars. That's not easy to find. Even Capital Punishment, it's sometimes you can get it on retailers, but yeah, not that easy. Love these Batman war games, and not to forget the Hulk Dogs of War Omni, which will be trading at a very affordable price. Yeah, so that's it. With no further ado, I will say goodbye to you. Thanks for watching. I admire your patience if you got here. And yeah, see you in our next video. We aren't expecting any big box, but there are some books coming, and we'll present them slowly as they arrive. So until the next video, stay tuned. Visit us at Deviant.fun.biz, or take a look at our Facebook or Instagram page, for example. And please like the videos if you like them, and consider subscribing the channel so you can get notified of new videos and new content. Okay, so Deviant Fun out in 3, 2, 1. Bye bye.